Now, this is where it gets a little tight. Whatever elevator they choose, the cab hopefully will be narrow enough that it fits. Behind me here, we have a custom home I designed, and we are finally 7 months into the build. We have our brick, siding, windows, doors, and even top grading for the property. My name is David Stumpf. I am an architect, your guide to anything and everything architecture. And today we are on a site visit to check up and verify the work completed so far on this custom home. Right now, as you can see behind me here, we have all of the brick installed. That's super exciting. We also have our garage doors, our windows and doors all completed. You can see what this looked like. Last time we were here, we just had the dormer done. The brick here, they're gonna be pouring the concrete all the way up, so they don't need to bring the brick all the way back over. But you can see this is the brick sill. So we've got our brick sill in. We've also got our brick shoulder courses up here. So that gives us a defined header. This actually looks fantastic. It's also good to see they've got their weeps in. That was designed and intended to be installed in here, so that's good to see. We've had a lot of questions about weep holes, and I just pointed those out, so I want to bring you to the drawings to explain what we're doing. Zoom in to our enlarged wall section. As water hits the side of our brick, it dries inward, and we want to make sure there's a way for it to escape. Then we have our enlarged details here. So this is really what's telling us how the assembly works. What we're trying to do here is flash this. So we have continuous through wall flashing. That's that layer there. We have our weep, our continuous through wall flashing, our weep. Right here we have our mortar net. So as they're laying the brick, anything that falls down, any mortar that squeezes out and falls down is caught, so that we don't have any issue with water actually getting out. Then we have our layers of flashing tape that are taped on to make sure that our continuous through wall flashing is actually flashed itself appropriately, so that any water that might make its way down through here doesn't inadvertently get behind the zip sheathing or behind the flashing and then settle on this. And then we also have a layer of waterproofing membrane that comes down and around. You can see one right there. You can see another one right there, and every three brick, they've got a weep. We've got weeps in our headers above the garage door. Also very good to see. So that's done right. One thing that didn't get quite right was there was a detail, an inset detail of trim board that goes on the inside of that to help make this come to life a little bit more. So the way it's drawn up, it dies into too thin of an overhang for a traditional element. So they did miss that detail. To touch on what I'm talking about with the brick detailing, I'm going to zoom in here and you can see how much more detail is involved in this elevation, and really all of the elevations, they're much more detailed than what's been executed in the field. It's not the end of the world, but I do want to show how what we design has a meaning and has a reason behind what we do. We have multiple gables throughout this house. We have 3 layers here, which corresponds to 3 layers within the gable itself. That language has been transferred to all of the gables on the house. And right here we have our main fascia, and then we have secondary fascia and a third fascia. We'll pull it over to the actual rendering and I can show you what I mean by that. You have what's effectively your main fascia, which is what we have in the field right now. That comes down this way. And then we have a secondary layer, which is only about 3/4 of an inch difference. And that's really just to make sure that we have a thick profile for the edge of that roof line. And then down here, we have this fascia board that sticks proud of the brick. So it's forward of it by about 3/4 of an inch. Zooming in here, we have our lower fascia that's applied directly to the brick. And then we have our other 2 that are applied directly to the face of the framing member here. That creates another shadow line that gives a little more interest and detail to the face of the house. You can't really do much about that. They've already done it. And then up here, they missed that header detail. That's okay. I mean, we're not gonna go back and change that. As you can see, it should look like this, or the details here up there. So that's kind of sad that they missed that. But we've got the vent in, so the attic is vented. That's done right. They've already graded the land. So that's kind of our finished grade. They brought in new topsoil. You could see how the driveway winds up and around. It's not so steep. It used to just jet straight there. Now it kind of winds and meanders up. They'll have to put in a walkway here. You're gonna follow around here to the front door. This is a detail she found on Pinterest that she really liked, so they were able to do that. This effectively all you can do is put that in there and kind of caulk the edges, unless you do a real white oak beam, which is also very hard to do. The only thing I would have said to do is also flash that at the top, so you have a little cap flash, but we've got our overhang, our foot overhang here, so that should help keep a lot of water off of that face. Got our brick sill, again, nicely sloped away. Let that water run off of there. Same as the last project, I don't like to see a bead of caulking here, because if water ever finds its way back, you wanna make sure it can get out. Like, you have to document that stuff and let them know. We've got our windows in here. That looks really good. This porch looks fantastic. They're doing the columns the same way as our other project over at Champion Lakes with these multi-pieces, and they're using the wood. Another thing I did call out, it was after the fact, but it was a supplemental drawing that showed how to pocket another column here. So you bring it out like 2 inches and you match this on this side, and then you do the same over there, and then you effectively have a column base and a cap. All of this is laid out beforehand, so it's not like we don't have the information for the contractor to go off of. As you can see, we have this column pretty highly detailed with what we want and how we want these details to step. This is something that we worked through with the homeowner at the very beginning of the project because she wanted a specific look. And then on the opposite side, where we die into the wall, we have another column so that it brings it together. We want this beam above here to feel like it's actually being supported by something. We also want to make sure that our column is in alignment with the edge of our beam here. So we align these and we align these. We don't ever want the column to stick out beyond that. Now I'm gonna take you over to where we're talking about this in the rendering. This main column here, it's actually supporting the beam above. That beam runs in this direction and it's actually pocketed into the frame of the wall over here and then pocketed into the frame of the wall over here. These columns on the outer edges are not actually supportive. You can use them to support, but they're actually decorative for this solution because we want the column to read as if it's supporting the beam. You know, if you're interested in learning more about this and why we did this and why these details elevate the character of the house, this book here, Get Your House Right by Marianne Casuto, is effectively the cookbook for a beautiful home. I've already got this page bookmarked. She goes through extensive detail of how to lay out a home correctly. I mean, this is a lot of detail. This is what we're talking about here, how the porch should have a column that dies into the wall so it feels supported. She also has examples of how to do it correctly and how not to do it correctly. And how not to do it correctly, number one, is nothing here. This is a fantastic resource. I'll leave a link into the description where you can get a copy of this for yourself. And then this was the shower. I had hoped that we would do a faux, like turn the brick, set it in just a little bit more, and then have like a little bit of a faux insert here. Looks like they got to caulk that a little bit still, but I think it looks really good overall. It's a quality build. It's a very quality build overall. Just first impressions. That's the windows that are going to eventually be our leaded glass. So you won't even see into that. It'll just be nice decorative. And we've got our egress window well in. There's the window, there's the egress. It's kind of a ladder that gets you out of there. And then here's our screened in, well, here's our regular porch, our screened in porch. So again, he's not doing the traditional columns. That detail's right. This all looks really good, intersecting. Now this was pared back because you kind of have to have it. And then that wraps in. This had a little bit more of a coffer detail, but it's okay, it looks fine. Looks like they installed that before putting the trim boards on. Direct vent for the fireplace. Then you got the screen door in, and then there's a company building the screens, so those will come. This is okay. I don't like to see the lap siding down here. I know they told me we're gonna do that. And I'd rather see a more traditional wainscoting approach here. I think that would look way better. Along the lines of the porch design, I wanna pull up the rear porch here. I was talking about the lap siding and how I'm not a fan of it because we have lap siding as defined on the gable ends of the house, but it stops right at the gable. We have a little flare detail here. And then down here was intended to be a screened in porch, completely screened in. Our client, the contractor, had a discussion in the field and he was more in line with thinking that somebody's gonna end up poking their way through the screen here and then causing issue with it. And instead of doing something like this and then infilling it like a wainscot, which is what I would have expected and I would have preferred, they ended up doing lap siding. And so the lap siding changes the language. Initially, we're trying to tie this all in alignment with the elements of the columns. These
lines all. So if you would have infilled that with a panel, you end up with something that's more elevated than the lap siding, much more character here as well. And it would play off of what we're doing on the inside of the house, as well as, again, playing off the lines that are created by the columns already.
Here you go. That right there, that's the detail that I wanted in the brick as well. You can kind of see that trim where everything dies into. I wanted that to be built out a little bit proud, so you had like another inch past the brick on those that the brick would die into. So it would have a little bit extra framing involved, but without that detail, you could see how flat it is. And then over here, you have another shadow line. It brings it in, kind of defines this a little bit better. Entry, that looks amazing. Over here, got our other window well, as you can see, lines up just fine. You don't have any issues there. And then we've got our garage door. I think these look fantastic, honestly. I'm gonna just take a quick walk through on the inside. And then, you know, the more I think about it, the more it doesn't really matter that that detail was not done. You know, I think it would have looked better, but in contemporary architecture, you try to go with thin profiles. In a way, that actually does pair well with what they're doing in our more contemporary, like transitional look to this house. If you have any questions about this project or what we talk about in the video today, let me know in the comment section and I'll get back to you. We'll head in the garage door here. Hopefully they have some stairs up. Yes, they do. Sick. Okay, no mud, no mud. Okay, all right. Oh, they get the garage doors in, that's awesome. Got our sub panel here. Head up into this space. Stairs for the basement. Got our elevator core. Our stairs there. Wow, this is cool. This is really cool. Yeah, this is so much natural light here. This is amazing. And then we go back over here. Got our stairs up here. That's awesome to see. We're gonna get to go check that space out. And then we've got rough-in plumbing. Got some rough-in electrical. Fireplace is in. That's cool. This is pretty cool. It's actually, dude, it's turning out sick, honestly. Got a 7-foot door. Because all the other doors are 7 foot, and then we added another foot, like the 8 foot for the transom. We've got our stairs down. Let's see. Okay, that's that transom window there. So you can see how that, it doesn't look centered on the outside because it's supposed to be centered in here. No, I'm pretty sure I had it centered outside and then they framed it in here, centered on the tub, because it would have been over this way more and that would have been better. Exterior, we've got that in, that's cool, that slider. People try to be like, there's deflection in that. No. And then we've got these windows in, that's really cool. Very cool. Bed stacks. Let's see, what else? Showers framed. Oh, they're not doing half glass shower. Okay, so just a glass toilet. And then vanity. Got your mirrors. Nice and wide, because we want to make sure wheelchairs can get in and out of here. That's why everything is 3-foot doors. Let's see, they got the basement framed. And then we'll head out of here. Cool. Wow, okay, so yeah, you land here. This is cool, you did this right. So you land here, you've got this lowered ceiling, so you got your trunk line. Perfect, perfect. You got a column here, that's okay. You land here, you've got a nice little sitting area, similar to what we did upstairs, right? So upstairs in this same path is our sidewalk, or our hallway. Here, we did the same thing. I actually hoped he would bring this lower to be in alignment with that beam, so that you had a flush transition, but that's okay, whatever, we'll live with it. But now you see we've got a hallway all the way back there, and then if we head back over here and we flip around, so you see that all the way back up to there. So this is a straight path of travel. Back there is a bedroom, it's the elevator access, and machine room access. So we'll go over there in a second. This is living space. So we've got this really cool living space right here. Very cool. Got our trunk line and now our branch lines. Very nice, very nice. giant LVL beams. That's cool. And then we've got, this is a little wet bar area right here. So we've got an heirloom bar that they wanted to save and then install in here. So we've got that. And then double door. It looks like maybe they changed that so you have a easier entry into the storage space. So that's storage right here. I guess maybe because they were thinking about moving stuff in and out. In case you guys didn't know, I'm a former mover. So when I design these spaces, I know what I'm talking about. And you come down here, turn in, you would have more than enough with just a regular 3-foot door. But we've got our bathroom for down here. So you got a toilet, tub, and everything gets vented out. You see the vents already in. And this is our access back up outside. Back over here is the bedroom. So this is one of the guest bedrooms. They have 2 guest bedrooms down here. We've got our egress well right here, which is good. So you can see how that is, kind of looks like stone. And from back here, actually it's pretty nice, you know? Doesn't make you feel like you're in a well, really. Well, maybe a water well. And then back over here is a walk-in closet. So you got actually a very ample walk-in closet for this space down here. So we got the elevator here. This is the machine room for the elevator. So whatever elevator they choose, we've designed it around an inclinator. They can put the machinery in here. And then honestly, if they have to grow it, you could just push this back over that way some. And then this is our elevator pit. So let's get in here, right? And then all the way up. It's gotta be a tight little elevator to get all the way up to that 3rd floor. We gotta really be cautious with this side over here. There's not much we can do. Up these stairs and out of the basement, so we don't need this anymore. Well, we'll check out this bonus room space. So you can see it's very similar to downstairs. Like everything's on axis, on alignment. Boom, all the way down. And then where it does step over, the change in height of the ceiling really reflects how that works. Now, this is where it gets a little tight. Whatever the elevator they choose, the cab will be narrow enough that it fits, because these rafters are tight. So you would have to make sure that this thing stays tight onto this side and it's not super wide over there, or they notch it and they have to re-support those. And then this is the upstairs. So this is pretty cool. It's a really wide open space. It actually turned out fantastic. So plenty of room. This turned out great. You got views to outside. David Stumpf Architecture right there. Come hire us if you're looking for an architect. Yeah, you can see, here you go. You got a little view of the assembly. So you got our soffit. It's vented. You have our brick, and then the airflow channels up here, and then boom, right to the ridge, right there. Here you go, stacked up. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to support that load transfer. And you got this one over here. I think you got 4 to support this load transfer. I mean, this is substantial, but it's really like because of the dormer that they wanted. And this is all flat. You can see it's all flat, all flush. So we're able to keep that the same style, same room. We got a little fun detail right there, but that's okay. Like that actually adds the character to the space. But you can see the garage and how cool that is. Down. Just a quick little construction site tour to show you guys the progress on our car collector house. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section. If you guys didn't already know, we do have channel memberships. So if you are a member of the channel, you get priority comment replies. It'll help me out with getting you guys the content that elevates architecture. If you guys have not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button. If you enjoyed this video, definitely hit the thumbs up, but don't go anywhere because the next video is about to start.